Yeah, that's
Right.
So, do you know what you're going to say in advance?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Hello, and this is my audience. Attendant 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All 6 attendants are met for this presentation. Thank you. That's it.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Richard Parkinson, and I'll be doing my presentation on how to be prepared to communicate with companies that have different cultures. The outcomes of this presentation will be to adequately train you to be prepared to communicate with companies that have other cultures, how to prepare yourself to communicate with companies that have other cultures, and the importance of learning how to communicate with other companies that have different cultures. There are many different cultures that are different than America's culture. However, an example of the culture that I'll be demonstrating today will be Japan. Japan has a very different culture than America due to it being a high context society, while America is a low context society. Because America is a low context society and Japan is a high context society, they have different nonverbal communications, social norms, and business etiquette than each other. Common business etiquette in Japan is business cards. Business cards in America are not as important as they are in Japan. According to the Japanese Business Resources article, Japanese Business Resources, Japanese Business Cards, the Japanese call business cards miyashi, and foreigners are expected to come prepared with their own translated bilingual business card. Business cards are important to Japanese, and it's important to be able to have a translated one so they can understand what's on the business card and be able to communicate with you and do business. On the handout, I give an example of how a bilingual business card should look like, in case anyone needs a visual representation of what they should do and how they should prepare their card before they go to another culture and company to present themselves. Another important factor in the first meeting with Japanese companies is gift giving. According to an article by Bruna Martinuzzi in her August 5, 2013 Open Forum article, Doing Business in Japan, 10 Etiquette Rules You Should Know. Flowers such as lilies, lotus blossoms, and camellias are used for funeral services and should therefore be avoided. Red cards should be avoided since they're also associated with funerals. Another difference between Japanese culture and American culture is the emphasis on age and respect. In Japanese culture, the older someone is, the more respect they should be given. How to be prepared to communicate with other cultures. The best way to learn about communication in different cultures is by using the internet. According to Gwen Moran in her April 10th, 2013 Entrepreneur article, How to Avoid Cultural Missteps When Doing Business with Other Countries, a simple online search for the location of or culture with the words cultural competence will lead to several websites with information and resources to help you understand cultural norms and cautions. Another way of figuring out how to deal with other companies and cultures is using social networking. If you know someone who's dealt with other culture before, asking for their advice or asking how their experience went will be one of the best ways of learning what to do when dealing with other cultures. I'm going to be explaining some basic yet important business etiquettes for Japanese that will be helpful when you're doing your meetings. Greetings in Japan is very different than in America. In America, the handshake is one of the basic forms of greetings, formal or informal. In Japan, however, they use the bow. According to the quintessential article, Japan Etiquette, Customs and Culture and Business Guides. In Japan, people greet each other by bowing. The bow ranges from a small nod of the head, which is casual and informal, to a deep bend at the waist, indicating respect. The way business cards are handled is very different in Japan than it is in America. When receiving a business card, it's important to receive it with both hands and to be able to study the card so you can understand the information on it. A business card for Japanese is like an extension of oneself, so it must be handled with respect and not crumpled up and put in the back pocket. A card holder would be a suitable way of holding extra cards that you get from business meetings. It is important to make sure your business cards are bilingual, so other companies that have different cultures and languages will be able to understand you and be able to communicate properly with you. Giving gifts in Japan is also very important. It is wise to avoid white flowers and potted plants, as well as giving in gifts of 4 and 9. Red cards are also to be avoided as well. Gifts should be presented in a bag so it can be hidden from onlookers. It's important to make sure that people don't know what the gift is because you don't want to either embarrass someone or make someone jealous for giving a gift that's very valuable. There are many cases where poor business etiquettes can lead to poor transactions and business deals. I'm going to give an example about an American company dealing with a Japanese company for the first time. The American company was strict with rules and wanted to get straight down to the meat of the agreement and to get the transaction over with, while the Japanese company was focused on harmonial actions and being friends first before the business went on. Because of the American company's quick pace in trying to get things done, the Japanese company felt that they weren't friends and were not in harmony. Therefore, they canceled the transaction and ended the relationship. If the Japanese company does not like you, they will not do deals with you. Therefore, it is important to understand the culture and to be respectful to be able to have the best outcome. Saving face and harmony in Japan is so important that if there is an issue between two individuals, they'll either get the issue away as fast as they can and promptly so everything can go back to normal, or they'd be roundabout the issue and won't directly confront it, but give small hints that aren't as easy to discover and to change the issue. In conclusion, it is important to be able to understand other cultures so you'll be able to act in the most respectful manner to them to get the best business deals. It is important to be able to research and gain information to be able to know how you should act to those companies in different cultures. And it is also important to be able to provide bilingual business cards in forms of documents so both companies can understand what they're talking about and how to deal with each other. Thank you for listening to my presentation.